Good evening, Otherworldies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark mask diva. Okay, so I was just on Facebook. Yeah, I was somewhere different than Quora or Reddit. I was on Facebook. And I saw a meme that said, all you empaths and nice people and pushovers and doormats, you guys are all in your villain era because you're starting to put up boundaries. Yeah, you know why you're in your villain era? Because you're being mean now. You're being mean, okay? You're starting to put up boundaries. You're starting to say no. You're learning to say no to all these people who are trying to manipulate you, okay? All these, all the bad guys, okay? You're in your villain era. So all of a sudden, you're feeling like some kind of gangster, because you're learning to say no to all these people who are trying to manipulate you. So for the first time, you get to feel like the bad guy. Kind of a good feeling, isn't it? You get to say no. Kind of feels good, huh? Okay, now the first time you started doing it, you kind of felt a little guilty, didn't you? You felt kind of like it was really uncomfortable. Then after you started doing it, you started feeling better and better, and all of a sudden, your life started getting a lot more peaceful, didn't it? You started noticing that your quality of life started improving. Once we start learning how to say no, learning to identify the manipulators, learn to say no to them, our quality of life gets a whole lot better. I'm going to tell you why. When we're around these manipulators, because they have that level of emotional dysregulation, what they do is they cause us to be emotionally dysregulated. So when you're going through life emotionally dysregulated, it impairs your functioning. Okay? So you don't want to go through life emotionally dysregulated. If you're depressed, if you're upset all the time, you're not going to be able to function. You're not going to be able to think clearly. You're not going to be able to make snap decisions if you need to make a decision. You're just not going to be functioning at your highest capacity, okay? You're not going to be living your best life. You're not going to be the best you that you could possibly be because you have all these people in your life making you mad, okay? You're going to feel resentful because you're not saying no to the people you should be saying no to. And you're going to feel strange, and you're going to feel guilty, and you're going to feel resentful, and you're not going to really know why. It's because you have all these manipulative people in your life that you should be saying no to, and you don't realize it. But once you're in your villain era and you're saying no to people, it's kind of funny because you're not really a villain, but you feel like it because for the first time in your life, you're finally gaining that stability to finally, you learned it was okay to say no to these people, and that's what you needed to do to take care of you, right? So what you need to do is you need to sit down and learn who you are. You need to introduce yourself to yourself, and you're learning who you really are. You're the kind of person who doesn't want to be manipulated, and you realize you have the right. You have basic human right not to be manipulated and controlled by other people. Am I right? So you have to sit down and you have to decide, what are my red flags? What are my boundaries, right? And you have to decide what they are. Now, everybody has certain things that just kind of push you personally over the edge, like certain things that bother you personally. Now, there are certain things that just fill our cup up too fast or empty our cup, however you like to look at it, okay? But there are just certain things that just kind of emotionally drain our battery, certain things that destabilize us, certain things that keep us emotionally deregulated, okay, dysregulated, rather. So you have to decide what your deal breakers are with people, like what you simply won't tolerate. Now, I'll use this as an example, okay? When I'm on Reddit, I get a lot of people writing to me about, are these people really my friends because they cancel plans a lot? Okay, they're canceling plans. So I tend to think that maybe they don't really want to hang out with you if they're canceling plans with you a lot. That just seems like logic. They're canceling plans with you a lot. They just don't want to hang out, or they just don't want to be friends with you. If they're canceling plans with you a lot, stop trying to hang out with them. I think that's not very nice, okay, that they're canceling plans with you, and I think you should learn to go out by yourself and make new friends, okay? Don't decide that you don't want to go out after all because they're canceling plans. Go out without them, okay? Don't let them be the reason you're not going out, okay? Just go out without them. Okay, but you don't need to be friends with people that are canceling plans on you all the time, because I don't think that's a real friend. That's basically what I tell people, okay? But if they said, should that be a deal breaker? Well, would you really want to be friends with someone who's canceling plans with you all the time? I think they're kind of trying to send you a message if they keep canceling plans on you. You're not like what I would call a priority, right? My feelings would be hurt. Like if someone kept canceling plans on me, I'd be like, okay, I guess you really don't like me, do you? Okay, now, I'm not someone who gets plans canceled on a lot, so that was never like my issue. My issue are I make a plan and someone tries to change my plans. See, that's something people try to do a lot. Or people did, past tense, try to do a lot, because I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate people changing plans. Those are deal breakers, and if I have plan changers in my life, I get rid of them. I tell people, oh, by the way, I'm one of those people, I don't like plan changing. So if you're a plan changer, I can't deal with that. I just don't like plan changes. I don't like to move the time around all day and the place and all this other stuff. I don't want to change things around. I don't want to leave things till last minute. I don't like people showing up way early. I don't like things that just mess everything up, and leave a lot of things to, let's just figure this out at the last minute type. No. I like to come up with a solid idea and do the solid idea, and do not change the plans. And this is what usually happens: is there's something I want to do, the person will agree to do the thing, there's no reason they can't do the thing, and then they try to change the plan on me. And what happens is a lot of people who have anxiety and have control issues will try to change the plan for that reason. And it's usually somebody with a personality disorder, usually somebody with anxiety, and they're trying to take control of the situation. Okay, those kind of people do not last in my life. So see, that's where my red flags are. Right? So I start to recognize their little pattern with their plan changing, and I've told them, no, I think we need to stick to the original plan. We need to do what we were doing before, and that's not going to work for me. So unless we're going to do what we were originally doing, I can't do this. And I just let people know that, how inflexible I am. And, just so people know that they can't change plans on me. So, and I've had the same type of people with anxiety and control issues keep trying to change plans and keep trying to do their plan change on me anyway, and I just simply will not cooperate with them. And let's see, another deal breaker with me: if people text me all day and bug me about something, pretty soon I won't associate with them after that. If I get people who nag me with texts all day about stuff, Because I don't like people nagging me. If I give my word that I'm going to do something, you don't need to keep checking on me. Because why? I'm a person of integrity. So if I give my word I'm going to do something, I promise I'm going to do it. A, I'm going to show up early. B, I'm going to do it. So don't insult my integrity by nagging me all day about it. You're going to nag yourself out of an associate, out of a friend. I'm going to disappear from your life. You don't nag me. But people with control issues and people with anxiety do things like that. That's a sign of somebody, again, with a personality disorder, somebody with control issues. That's my boundaries, and I will tell people that's not okay to nag me with texts, and I'll tell them why I don't like it. They still continue to do it. Red flag. Get rid of them. But see, everybody has their own boundaries. You have to decide where you're going to draw the line in the sand with people. Maybe other people will be more understanding with people with their anxieties. Maybe they nag other people with texts. Maybe they do plan changes with other people, and other people let them do it. I'm just one of those people where I'm just like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's just my particular boundaries. I've had, I've been in friend groups where the other people will let the one person jerk them around all day and change the plans all day, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this with a group. This person keeps changing the plans. You need to count me out. And I just won't cooperate. I just won't go along with it. And because I don't want to be caught up in situations where people are, doing their control freak thing, just acting out their anxiety and that kind of thing, and making everybody else suffer for it, because I know what it's about. So, and when they do that, I feel annoyed, and I feel like they don't respect your time, and I know what they're doing, and I don't want to pander to their mental illness. So that's where I see the red flags and I see their behaviors, and I'm just not going to cooperate with it. Okay, so I would rather be in the company of people that don't do things like that. Or I'd just rather be alone. Because that's where my center of sanity is. I don't want to be around that. Now, other people, they might decide it doesn't bother them. They may have just grown a thick shell to where they've just learned to tolerate the person. Or maybe they do it to them back. And that's fine. They can just go ahead and deal with a person. That's, I'll leave them to it. That's okay. But that's just where my particular red flags are. And then, some people, they may, suffer with feelings of abandonment. Well, they get plans canceled on them. And if they have that issue, I tell them, do not be friends with that person. Honestly. But I personally, I want to make sure I get all the manipulators out of my life. So I get rid of all those plan changers and people like that. Control freaks and that kind of thing. So that's like where my boundaries are, my personal boundaries. Now that kind of thing might not bother somebody else. But to me, I kind of see where it's coming from, and I'm like, no. But it might mean something different to somebody else. They might go, oh, that person has time management problems. Well, they might. But to me, no. To me, it's a manipulation game, and I'm like, no. No, I think the person's trying to pull something. So I don't let people do plan changes and stuff like that. But what are your boundaries? What things personally bother you? What things will annoy you to where you just, it's not worth it to you? You have to decide what that is. If you don't like a friend that calls you all day, don't get the phone. Because if you answer the phone, they know you're going to answer the phone. But if they call all day and you ignore the phone, they're going to need to call somebody else. They're going to realize you don't pick up. They're going to stop trying to call you all the time. It's just good common sense. What they're going to do is they're going to bug you a lot for a while. And then they're going to realize that you aren't the friend who's going to pick the phone up. And they're going to leave you alone after a while. But you're going to have to resist picking the phone up. Okay? That's just where your boundary is going to need to be. But if you really want to have boundaries, you need to just, even if you need to write them down, what they need to be. Write down a list of new behaviors that you need to do, what your new boundaries need to be. Because you need to behave a certain way, because you need to train people how to treat you. All right? Because the thing about the people without the boundaries, they're not going to listen. And I'm telling you this. And they're going to say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, maybe they didn't mean to do that. But they're still going to do it. Okay? Even if you tell them not to do it, they're still going to. Okay? Because they don't have boundaries. Even if they didn't consciously disrespect your boundaries, they're just naturally going to try to manipulate you. They're going to naturally try to manipulate the situation. They're not going to change overnight, and they may never change, and they may always run their life like that. So you're going to have to do things to stop them from doing it. And if they can't stop doing it, you're just maybe going to have to get them out of your life. Okay, and once you do that, you're going to feel a peace wash over you. And you're like, oh my God, you're like telling me to kick everybody out of my life. No, you're just kicking the troublemakers out. Or you're making it impossible for them to pull their stuff on you. Right? So once they stop pulling their stuff on you, they're going to have to move on and pull their stuff on someone else. Okay? They're just going to know they can't pull their stuff on you. They may not even consciously be aware of it. They're just going to be like, oh, well, I guess I can't hang out with so-and-so anymore. And they're going to pull their stuff on someone else because that's all they know is how to pull their stuff. Okay? You're going to have your time freed up, and your mind is going to be clear because you're not going to have that element of stress in your life anymore. You're going to have a peaceful, fulfilling life, right? So you're going to open your life up to normal people that don't do things that annoy you. Or you're just going to have time to yourself, which is fine too. So you have to figure out exactly what your boundaries are so you know when somebody is violating them. And I think the older we get, the less we tolerate. We know what the boundaries are. So I hope that was helpful. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. And I will see you in the next content.